So this is the Murphy trailhead to the Murphy Point Overlook. Nice little picnic spot for after your guys' hike if you want to have lunch, dinner, snack, whatever. Nice bathroom in case you need it. And of course, a nice view of the LaSalle Mountains out in the distance. Definitely a trail to check out. Highly recommend it. So you guys will know you've made it to the correct place for Murphy's Point if you can find this guy out in the middle of the rock. Placed here all the way in 1978. I mean, the only thing I really wish they did differently here is I wish they used red concrete, some type, so it wasn't quite as visible. Maybe they didn't have it back in 78. I'm really not sure. Either way, if you find that guy, you'll be in the correct place. You got treated to some absolutely gorgeous views out here. So this is your reward for coming all the way to Murphy's Point. Absolutely gorgeous views. Way out past the rim here. Zoom in on this guy here. Got all kinds of cool little buttes to look at out here. Of course, we got the Green River out in the distance as well. And if we look beyond the buttes, we got the Henry Mountains. Not sure how good they're going to show up on film. It's a little bit hazy. Maybe not the best view of them today. They're pretty far out there. These guys are much further away than the LaSalle Mountains. We can see all the old roads, and that's the Schaefer Trail down there. We actually got someone driving down there at the moment. Out on the Schaefer. You see that car right there. Way, way down in the valley. You guys can drive this road. It's a very long road. It's more of an overlanding route than a tourist destination. You guys can see all the trail out there. So for those who don't know, before Canyonlands was a national park, it was actually an old mining district. And there was tons of mines and heavy equipment out here that made a lot of the trails you see now. And if we hop over to the other side of that boulder, we got another view. There's some pretty cool rock formations out here as well. And as you can see, another trail. Some of these trails are no longer in use. They will take hundreds, if not thousands of years before they finally vanish from the landscape. The desert really does take a long time to heal compared to many other parts of the country, for those who are unaware. These trails would not still be able to be seen, at least not in this great of detail. For example, anywhere in Michigan, Wisconsin, any temperate place is really going to get erased. Trails will get erased much more quickly. So it is interesting to see. I do highly recommend coming out to this area. Now, Grand Viewpoint is beautiful, and I have to admit, I think Grand Viewpoint has a more beautiful view. But your difference is, Grand Viewpoint has tons and tons of people. Pretty much every time of the year. I can't think of a single time you're going to find no one out at Grand Viewpoint. So from that perspective, this area is quite a bit cooler. Now we're going to take a much closer look. Green River. We'll zoom in quite a bit. You can see it flowing at the moment. Please note, the Colorado River is significantly lower than normal at the moment. Current projections are that we're only going to have about 25% of the usual snowpack that feeds the Colorado River. Really not looking very good as far as the water situation here in Moab. We could really use a wetter year this year. The LaSalle Mountains, on the other hand, at least at the peaks, did receive about 5 inches of snow up in the peaks, probably about 3 inches. Quite a bit lower than that. But it's definitely still not enough. We definitely still need more than we've gotten so far. So if you do come to Moab, once again, guys, please do your best to conserve water for us. This is one of the worst years as far as the Colorado River snowpack is concerned. It's only 25% of the normal expected snowmelt feeding the Colorado River at the moment. They are expecting Lake Mead to be extremely low. They are choosing to fill Lake Powell and prioritize that over Lake Mead this year. So you will see Lake Powell actually rise. It's expected to rise about 54 feet. On the other hand, Lake Mead is expected to drop even further, and the Colorado is likely going to provide 40% less power at the Hoover Dam. So if you guys do decide to make the hike out here to Murphy, make sure you check out this little viewpoint as well. You can identify it by this big cracked rock here right in front of you, and these other rocks right here on the ledge. Make sure you guys look out. Check out Black Dog Rock. Looks like a black dog sitting on top of the butte out there. And then make sure you look over here as well. Down in the valley, you'll see what I call White Owl Rock. Looks like a snowy owl just sitting on top. Right out there is a little hoodoo. It's probably actually a fairly big hoodoo. It just looks small because you're so far away. But either way, make sure you guys stop and check these guys out. You can look out in the distance here as well. You got another interesting little formation out here. Doesn't really look like anything special, at least not to me at the moment. Leave it in the comments below if you think it looks like something cool. This area where I showed you guys Black Dog Rock and Snowy Owl Rock, it's also a cool place because you can come look out here and you can see the S curve of the river. The Green River is making an S here. It's one of the best places to see it from. This is kind of a cool formation too. The only downside is I'm not really sure whether or not this is natural or human made. I really wish humans wouldn't make stuff like this out here. That way we would definitely know the difference. It's really, really hard to tell sometimes. I think this one's natural. Although these two redder rocks, I think, are definitely human placed. But once again, it's really hard to tell for sure. So this is probably just about the hardest part of this trail. Really not that hard at all. Just be aware, it is a little off camber, a little bit of uneven footing. I don't think most people are going to have a problem. Very pretty view. So this is the other area that's pretty cool that a lot of people ignore. There's not too many places you can walk on this green stuff. Now, it's not just green stuff. This stuff is mostly chlorite, maybe some iolite mixed in as well. This is actually a byproduct of iron. Not a lot of people realize that. If you recognize the name chlorite, similar to chlorine that they put in swimming pools, you'd be correct. This stuff is used to make chlorine, and it's partially what gives swimming pools their color. This stuff changes to different colors depending on the different lighting conditions. Definitely something you want to pay attention to because it is fairly cool. Not too many other places you're going to walk directly on it and see it real up close. So as mentioned before, the LaSalles are visible when you're hiking back the other direction towards the parking lot. And they've recently got a little bit of a layer of snow, so they're looking pretty beautiful today. If you guys are lucky enough to see them with snow, make sure you not only check it out, make sure you try and plan your sunset time around trying to see them when they turn pink. It won't happen every day, but it happens fairly frequently, and it's very cool to see. Next, we'll be making a brief stop at the Green River Overlook. For those who don't have the time to hike all the way to the Murphy Point Overlook, this is another place to see Black Dog Rock. And this is your other chance to view Black Dog Rock. You will not be able to see the snowy owl from this location, but this is a much shorter, much easier hike. It is a very beautiful view of Black Dog Rock. So this is another cool thing that you can see at the Green River Overlook. I call this Corner Rock for obvious reasons. It is a fairly unique formation. Not nearly as cool as Black Dog Rock, obviously. And as we move on down, there's a lot of interesting little rock outcroppings out here. And over here we have Twin Peaks. Pretty cool little formation here. The viewpoints at the Green River Overlook are only about 500 feet from the parking lot, and pretty much anyone should be able to make it out here as it's relatively flat ground as well. Welcome to Mesa Arch, the most impressive arch at Island in the Sky. If you guys look through the opening of the arch, you'll actually be able to see the LaSalle Mountains. It's not a secret to anyone who follows this channel, I really do love the mountains. They do remind me of home in many ways, and I really love them. They do look extra beautiful right now since we've recently received some snow. They will turn pink at sunset, at least some days. I highly recommend this area for sunset. Make sure you guys are paying close attention to the mountains if you are out here at the correct time. The hike to Mesa Arch is short and sweet, but Mesa Arch is definitely worth coming for. The parking lot is small, and this place is popular. My best advice is stop here late in the day, about an hour before sunset. Most people tend to leave Island in the Sky around dinner time. So bring a picnic dinner and beat the crowds by staying around all the way until sunset. You'll also get a gorgeous view if you do stay till sunset at this arch. The hike is short enough that most people should be able to make it all the way back to the parking lot before it gets truly dark enough that you can't see anymore. This guy is a desert cottontail, and if you guys come at the right time near sunset and you're nice and quiet, you guys might be lucky enough to see one of these guys. They're pretty cool. They're not way too shy. A lot of the animals in national parks are a lot more, I guess you could say, human friendly since they see lots of visitors and hunting is not allowed here. So it's a very good opportunity to see wildlife. As always, please subscribe, like the video, and share the link with a friend. And join me once again next Saturday here on Magical Moab.